Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Welcome to Duck Insider.
Man, it feels great to be a Duck.
Give it to me, baby. My house. I'm taking it there.
Their competitors, they'll want to put the O on.
Three, got it!
We're going to compete to a standard every day.
The Oregon standard.
Rebound. Up and in. 1.4 to go.
The opportunity to play, put Oregon on your chest, should mean a great deal to you.
Unloads on one into left field. Back toward the wall. Gone!
This program is staged to compete and to win championships.
Oregon wins!
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield. Presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, let's talk Oregon athletics.
Less than 24 hours away from kickoff against the Georgia Bulldogs. Welcome into Duck Insider on a Friday. Jordan Brenner in hosting. We're in the Country Financial Studio. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. The Ducks have officially landed in Georgia, and they practiced today at the Atlanta Falcons practice facility. Take a look at that. It's pretty cool that they were able to facilitate that. I guess when you know the starting quarterback pretty well, the Atlanta Falcons, you can do that. But it really is a business trip for Oregon. The Ducks practicing today, getting ready for tomorrow. They flew in yesterday. And they're not the only people there. How about the Oregon Sports Network broadcast crew touching down? That's the view from the OSN booth. That's where Jerry Allen and Mike Jorgensen will call the game. Terry Johns will do the pregame show from there. That's 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. Grab a cup of coffee. Get your TVs going. You'll have, maybe App State, North Carolina working on the big screen while you listen to Terry. And on the pregame show, he'll bring on Joey, Jorgie. They'll bring everything you could ever want down. There will be sound from the coaching staff. It's going to be great. And then Jorgie, Jerry, and Joey got you covered for the game. Simulcast, that's what I'm going to be doing. The OSN broadcast with the video feed. It's going to be a wonderful day. Meanwhile, yesterday was, I think, a really successful day for a couple of athletic programs here at the University of Oregon. Let's start at Matthew Knight Arena. This week's Women's Sports Schedule Spotlight is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Not just a win, a dominant win for Oregon volleyball. Scott Phillips, our producer, was in attendance for it, and he was mentioning to me just how impressive a couple players were, in particular the freshman Mimi Collier. She was nearly unstoppable. A match-high 21 kills on 30 swings. The defense was tremendous.
So fun.
Yeah, so set 1, Oregon wins 25-8. Set 2, they repeat that 25-8, 25-20 in the 3-0 sweep in the opener at Matthew Knight Arena. Oregon volleyball will be back in action tomorrow in the Oregon Invitational. That was really cool to see. Some great stuff defensively from the Ducks and Brooke Nuneviller, who didn't produce her normal numbers offensively, but she's a team player, and the Ducks, they had it working yesterday. They held the Aggies to a negative .049 hitting percentage. I think that's pretty good.
That sounds good to me.
I think that's pretty good. Another team had a good night defensively yesterday. That's Oregon soccer, a 1-1 draw against Texas. And believe me when I tell you, that was a positive result, especially if you watch that first half. It felt like Texas could be up 2-0, 3-0. But Graham Abel called the halftime speech. Players also pointed this out. What happened at halftime was the team came together. It was a real growing experience, and that team came out tough and gritty in the second half. An unbelievable, awesome, emotional moment for the senior Jordan Snyder in the 78th minute as Oregon rallied and was even with Texas. They got even with Texas, a 1-1 draw against the Longhorns. That's a Texas team. Don't be surprised as the year progresses, those Longhorns are up there in the top 25. They were really talented, really physical, really big, and Oregon was able to get out of there with a draw yesterday. Hopefully that's something that Oregon can build on as they welcome Boise State into town on Sunday at Pat Bay Field. Couple results there as part of the Toyota Women's Sports Schedule Spotlight. All right, every Friday during football season, the entire Oregon Sports Network broadcast crew picks all the Pac-12 games. We already gave you our picks for Arizona State. Yesterday, the Sun Devils rolled easy. Now it gets serious. So it's always a segment with Joey, Jerry, and Jorgie. I joined as the celebrity picker this week. And, well, for the next half an hour or so, enjoy some great banter about Pac-12 football. Here we go.
Our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks. Every week we pick all the Pac-12 games. Of course, we won't pick the Duck game because we're calling it, and also we all know who we would pick in the Duck game every week. We were just discussing in between recordings because you heard us pick one game yesterday. We don't know at this point if we all picked Arizona State well or not. Jordan probably told you before the segment started. Maybe he'll tell you afterwards. But we're back for more of our picks, picking the rest of the week. This is how we spend a Friday show. Again, this is your warning. Ibuprofen, acetaminophen, maybe Excedrin migraine. That's what gets you through these with all of us. Because even off the air, we were just debating if we should completely rewrite the rule book.
which we do each week, I think, during the season, too. So.
We do. But as it stands, I think that Jerry is still in first place. He has to still be in first place because we all picked Arizona State. So let's pick tonight's game, shall we? 7 o'clock on ESPN, TCU visiting Colorado. Guys, I feel like this is kind of a big game for the Pac-12, a little bit of a prove-it game. TCU, Folsom Field, Boulder, Colorado, a 14-point favorite. Jerry, what do you think?
You know, I don't know what to think about Colorado. I mean, a Pac-12 school at home, at elevation. TCU's not used to that. Early season, first games are always interesting. That's when most of your upsets occur, I think, between schools like so. I'm going to go with Colorado. Okay?
All right.
Yeah. I'm going to jump right out and give you guys an opportunity because it's at Colorado. It's at elevation. That means something to me.
I like that pick.
Yeah. Wasn't it last year that A&M visited Colorado?
And played them tough.
And, it was a nail-biter all the way through.
Yeah, really tough. So I am so glad that Jerry picked Colorado because I was this close to picking Colorado. I'm not picking Colorado, though. I'm going with TCU. The Fighting Kip Ambroses, one of our fulfillment team members, Ambrose. He is a Horned Frog, proud Horned Frog graduate. For Kip, I am picking the Fighting Kips. TCU.
Okay.
Jordan's up. Guest picker, by the way, this week. Jordan Brett.
Here I am. So Colorado, I thought, showed signs last year. They had a brutal 1-6 stretch, but ended the season 2-2. Beat the Huskies, beat the Beavers. I think year 3 they'll build on that under Carl Durrell. I'm going to take Colorado at home. Going to be crazy there on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Students going to be excited about that one.
I like it. What's the temperature supposed to be?
Boulder in early September would be cool.
80 degrees.
At night.
Beautiful.
That's awesome.
At night would
What do you
be
think?
great. Hey, I tell you, how can't you like a mascot? The Horned Frogs. I mean, I just,
I thought you were going to say, how can't you like a mascot like Ralphie?
Well, I like Ralphie too, but the Horned Frogs, there's just something different about that I like. And frankly, I just think TCU's a better team. They're not going to pull a Texas A&M going to Boulder this year. I think the Frogs cover the spread and win this one. Yeah.
All right. So a little bit of a split. I like it in our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks. Now for Saturday, the slate begins on Pac-12 Network. UCLA hosting Bowling Green. Bruins are a big favorite.
They should be.
Yeah, they should be. I mean, it's almost not a game you even want to spend any time on. UCLA, they've got to have that kind of season. It's got to start well. That means you have to win and win big early.
I'm taking UCLA as well.
Yep, same here.
Yeah, I'll go with UCLA. We don't even have to
Jordan
pay
even
attention
jumped
to
his
them.
order.
I did jump it, didn't I, a little bit? You looked at me, and then you looked over at him.
Sorry.
Jordan, he's got to look at you first before he looks at me. And
Too
then
many J's here.
Because I'll bite on it. That's the thing about it.
Yeah,
So
well, yeah, that makes sense. The next game on the docket would be the 12:30 ABC game, Oregon, Georgia. We'll have the Call 10:30 pregame show beginning across the Oregon Sports Network. Also up against the matchup for the Ducks is the 12:30 CBS game, Arizona visiting San Diego State. Jerry.
Talking about the Fighting Dave Hickey's, I would love for Arizona to win this game, but for no other reason for Dave Hickey, because because I just love the man. I think he's tremendous, but I don't think they will. I think San Diego State, solid program. They're at home, and it's that opening game of the year, and things happen. And so I hate to go against the pack, but I'm going to go San Diego State.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's tough, guys. I'm sure you've seen some of the news, and obviously San Diego State has some off the field issues that they're dealing with. I feel like that is a distraction. I feel like that's why the odds makers actually have this as a closer game than I thought they would. A 6-point favorite, San Diego State. I thought that it would be a wider margin than that. I'm actually going to back the pack. I'm kind of rooting Arizona to get a win here, and with everything going on outside of the game of football, I feel like it could be a game that Arizona could win. I'm going to take the Wildcats.
All right. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I did
confuse me again,
Joey.
San Diego State, 10-game winner last year, beat Utah in triple overtime. That's a serious defense. I think they have maybe the best defensive line, linebackers, and secondary in the Mountain West. So even though I think Arizona's better, they dominated the transfer portal this offseason. I think San Diego State is going to be too much for them. I think they'll have another big season on the field.
It's going to be interesting to see how Arizona plays with Delora at quarterback, frankly. I mean, they're going to be, winging it. I think Arizona's going to be better this year. They got smoked in Tucson last year by San Diego State. Now, did I read that San Diego State's starting quarterback is Braxton Burmeister? Did I read something wrong there? I might have looked at something completely out of looking at the wrong team when I was doing a little bit of research, but I thought I saw his name pop up.
You're right.
For San Diego State. How about that?
Yeah, you're right.
As their starting quarterback.
That's a great catch by you.
Yeah,
how about
I
that?
I did not know that.
He's been all around the country.
And, and the opening game at Snapdragon Stadium. That's the new name of the stadium. The Snapdragon Stadium. Yeah, the old San Diego Charger Stadium.
Snapdragon's a flower.
With all that, I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Aztecs are going to win it. How about that?
It's a flower.
So,
I know.
God, the fact that this game's on the same time as ours really stinks.
I know.
Yeah, it's the big CBS game, too, so a chance to do something. All right, so we got some split decisions there. Continuing with our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks. 1 o'clock, UC Davis visits Cal, guys, in a battle of University of California schools.
Another, I think, easy pick. I mean, Cal, Pac-12 school against UC Davis. It's that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to pick Cal. I like Justin.
Cal should dominate.
Should.
UC Davis has lots of Oregon connections and still has Dan Hawkins as a head coach. I think that Dan Hawkins keeps it maybe a little bit interesting, but Cal wins the game. There's no line on the game. So.
Just a difference in talent to me.
It is. It should be.
Talent level.
So, I'm going Cal.
Go Bears.
Yeah, same here. It'd be interesting to see the Purdue transfer, Jack Plummer.
That's right.
Their new quarterback. See how he plays. He's a pretty good player at Purdue.
That's right. 3 o'clock, Pac-12 Network. Rice visiting USC, 32.5-point favorite Trojans.
I think USC will pound them. I don't think, but I still am curious to find out what USC has got on their offensive line and defensively. I mean, there's some questions for USC. They've got talent all over the place, but they haven't gelled. But Lincoln Riley is special, okay? I think he, with the talent level they have and the pool they have at USC, he'll get something going in a hurry, and I think in game 1 they roll.
Yeah, I think the Trojans are going to win. They're obviously a lot more talented, and I have a feeling that this is a game that Rice will like to forget.
Bring in Caleb Williams. You bring in the Biletnikoff winner, not to mention the other transfers defensively. You usually say it's a cupcake. This time we'll say it's a rice cake, and I'll take the Trojans.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Wow.
Love that.
Great line.
Yeah.
Save that one.
That was a good call.
That was pretty good.
Save that one.
I'm taking the Owls as well. Or what? Did you say you were taking the Owls? No, I'm taking USC. I'm just kidding.
Wow. I got nervous. We hadn't even opened that
I do agree
Winery
with Jerry about the offensive line issues and stuff like that, but I don't think this week is going to tell us anything, frankly. And so, time will tell when they start to get into competition and get into league and conference play and that type. I think we'll get a better feel.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the way that team develops and could be a fun matchup. Maybe we'll see. Right?
Travis Dye.
Yeah, later on. Travis Dye. That's right.
Man, that's fun stuff to chop it up with Jerry, Jorgie, and Joey. Just awesome. Maybe the best segment of the week, and we got a lot more of it coming after this on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Now's the time to visit your local Toyota dealer and find yourself in a stylish and fuel-saving RAV4, Corolla, or Camry. Or climb behind the wheel of the rugged Tundra, Tacoma, and more. Toyota's national sales event is on. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
Now's the time to visit your local Toyota dealer and find yourself in a stylish and fuel-saving RAV4, Corolla, or Camry. Or climb behind the wheel of the rugged Tundra, Tacoma, and more. Toyota's national sales event is on. Toyota, let's go places.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Unused prescription opioid pain medicines can spell trouble. They can spell risk if taken by someone they weren't prescribed for, harm if accidentally taken by a child or pet, or overdose if they're not used as directed. Safely dispose of opioids before they can hurt your family. Find a drug take-back option such as medicine drop boxes. You may find these in your community at local pharmacies or police stations. Visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
We're back here in the Country Financial Studios. Duck Insiders brought to you by On Point Community Credit Union. Here comes more of our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks that we do every single Friday, picking all games across the Pac-12. Let's get back to it.
4 o'clock on ESPN, a top 10 ranked Utah team, fellas, visits Florida in what could be a big-time prove-it game for that program and maybe for the Pac-12. I like to see some of these Pac-12 SEC matchups. Kind of fun. Jerry, I think this is a tough game.
Yeah, this one's so tough to pick that I'm not going to first.
Oh.
I'm going to use the defer rule.
Defer?
Yeah.
Kind of lulled us to sleep.
I might have mispronounced that.
Yeah, we really were rapid fire there for a minute, and then he was ready with that
game.
The deferral. I'm glad that game is following the Oregon game because I'm really looking forward to watching it. I'm hoping that we'll be able to tune in on the flight home, guys. I think Utah is the real deal. I think that Utah returns maybe the most talent in the Pac-12. I think it's neck and neck between Oregon and Utah in that regard. We just talked about how USC brought in a lot of talent. I think those are the three far and away most talented teams in the conference. Florida playing in the swamp. Everyone talks about how that's this grand, big environment. I just have a feeling that Utah is the team that doesn't play up to the pomp and circumstance. I feel like that's kind of the identity, or if maybe it's a fair description, but in some ways I feel like that's kind of the personality of their head coach. And I feel like Utah is going to go into Florida. I think Utah wins a really, really close, well-fought defensive football game. Might win it on a defensive touchdown. I think Utah wins the game.
I think the talent gap is substantial. I think Utah's a lot better on paper, but you mentioned the swamp factor. They get the alligators going on the screen pregame, 90,000 people going crazy. It's going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern game. Florida fans will not have given up on their team at this point in the season, so they're going to be fully into it. That being said, I do think the talent is so large for Utah. They return pretty much everybody but their linebacker, Devin Lloyd. I think they win by more than a touchdown.
All right.
Yeah. I just think they're better coached.
Yeah, I think they're.
You know, as much as Utah struggled on the road last year with non-league games, I mean, that was one thing they did is when they were on the road, big games, they did not play well. But again, they hadn't found themselves yet. They'd come off of, tragic deaths of some players. I just don't think they figured themselves out for the first 3 or 4 games last year, and then they were one of the best teams in the country at the end of the season. I think they keep it rolling. They're a great team.
Yeah, I feel like the experience rollover with everything you just said, I think they're a dangerous team this year.
I do too.
Okay, there's nothing better than having you in the box or whatever say, "Oh no, you're the only one who picked that. How'd you get that game?" And I'm going to make this that game.
Are you?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I think, again, it's an opening season game, and you're right. Utah's got more talent, and I think they're the better team. But they're going into the swamp, and that means temperature. I don't care what it's 7 o'clock at night. It's going to be hot. And the humidity. So I think Utah is probably going to lead that game for much of the way. Get the fourth quarter, though, I think they begin to bog down a little bit. And I think Florida, with that crazy crowd, and it's the swamp, and it's the first game of the year, and Florida's reading all the clippings about how great Utah is. I'm going to go with Florida.
Wow. All right.
Anthony Richardson's a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah. We'll see.
If he gets it rolling, then watch out.
He's no Cam Rising, nobody.
You guys have probably noticed this about me early in the season. I tend to pick heavy on the Pac-12.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of rooting for the Pac-12 in these games, so we'll see. Next up on the docket is the 5 o'clock game. The Fighting Toothpaste, Colgate visits Stanford.
Fighting Toothpaste.
Can you believe that?
Jerry?
Oh, jeez. I can't follow up that by anything other than saying Stanford. They're at home. And I'll just be honest, I didn't know Colgate even had a football team. I knew they had toothpaste, but I didn't know.
You guys really liked rice cake, but you didn't like toothpaste, huh?
I think it's great.
Wow.
It was a great line. It was a great line.
The Fighting Toothpaste.
Stanford.
What's Colgate's mascot? Anybody know?
Toothpaste. Tube of toothpaste.
No, I'm dead serious. Does anyone know?
No, I don't. I'm going to say Bulldog, but I don't know.
I don't.
I actually have no idea.
Got to Google that.
The Mighty Mouthwash.
The Mighty Mouthwash. The Raider. They're the Raiders.
The Raiders. Interesting. Okay.
In 2001, the administration, Raiders.
Okay.
There you go. The nickname for Colgate University. I'm going Stanford, by the way.
I like Stanford, too.
Oh.
Really? Yeah.
Stanford here.
Wow. The only time I've seen Colgate is when they're on those college shows where they have the smart kids. Smart kids. Yeah, like Jeopardy and college Jeopardy. Yeah.
I used to, when I was a kid, when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old, they used to do the score updates, and they always had them, on the like a bulletin board behind the announcers because they didn't have computers in. It would be, Colgate and Yale and Harvard, whatever.
Yeah.
Who are these teams?
Yeah, out of the Patriot League. Yeah.
Colgate, great academic school. Really great academic school.
Yeah. So everyone's going to take Stanford, though. Also a pretty good academic school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Matchup of some big-time academic schools. Next on the docket after Stanford Colgate, 6:30 on Pac-12 Network. Idaho visits Washington State in a what do you call this? I'm gonna defer to Jorgie. Is this
I don't know. It's a battle of the Palouse.
Is it a cross-state? It's a cross-state rivalry.
Yeah.
What's the highway that connects Pullman and
I don't know. It's 8 miles from the Kibbe Dome to Martin Stadium.
It's almost across town.
I think it is a cross-town rivalry.
Yeah.
8 miles.
Cross-town and cross-state borders. It's the Fighting John Lundquist.
I did some research. Did you realize that Idaho they're doing a hayride from the Kibbe Dome to Martin Stadium? It 45 minutes because it's 8 miles. You go 10 miles an hour. I'm kidding. They're not going to do that.
That's a great idea, though.
Wouldn't it be fun?
Yeah, not in a blizzard.
I thought he was serious. You sold that.
Wouldn't that be fun to do a hayride on that? Because it'd only be 45 minutes with a tractor pulling a big old trailer behind like 2 or 3.
Talk about pregame functioning.
Yeah. Yeah, John would have got ticked off if that was actually a real thing.
Yeah.
So.
And he would.
John Lundquist.
Because you're beat right then.
Yeah.
And they're going to get beat anyway.
The sensei of stats. He is a proud Vandal.
Yep.
Do the Fighting John Lundquist have a chance 8 miles away in Pullman?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It's too bad. I really wish that they did. I have to tell a quick story. Jordan will appreciate this. You guys remember Chris Clayton? He was at KWVA a few years after I was, and he has just always loved the Kibbe Dome. It's been like his lifelong dream to get inside the Kibbe Dome. He finally got inside for a tour 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
So shout out to our friend Chris Clayton, friend of the program, former voice of Oregon softball. So he got into the Kibbe Dome, and it was like he sent us pictures. It was one of his favorite things he's ever done. So
cool campus.
I've never gotten a chance to go
My
in.
mom and dad graduated from there, so I kind of know it decently, and have stepped in there only one time though. I always thought that was
not fun memories because Ernie Kent took a basketball team over there to play them and should have won the ball game, didn't, in the Kibbe Dome, and so not a good memory.
Is it actually as if cool is the right word, as cool of a venue as we're led to believe?
It's pretty cool. It's pretty tight. It's tight.
It's tight, but it's neat.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, it's been there for a long time.
And this game is, by the way, not being played there.
Yeah, no.
But so everyone, I think, is taking Washington.
Looking forward to seeing Cam Ward too.
I'm in on that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, won't it? Cam Ward. Sorry, I have to write down what everybody's picking. Okay, next on the docket, we're closing in. 7:30 on ESPN, guys. I think one of the most intriguing games in the Pac-12. What do you guys think? Third most intriguing game of the weekend?
What are you
Boise
talking
State,
about?
Oregon
I would
State.
say because Utah, Florida, and Oregon, Georgia have got to be the top two.
Yeah.
So this would, and I believe in Jonathan Smith. I like him. I think Chance Nolan's going to be his quarterback. I mean, he had a lot of room for improvement from last year, but he was pretty good last year, and so I just think there's going to be a natural progression. Got a great running back coming in, and they're at home. It's going to be a half stadium, but it's going to be full of what they have available. So I'm going to go with Oregon State. I'm going to pick the Beavers at home. And not even an upset. I think they're favored by a field goal.
Yeah, they are. Right now, a 3-point favorite Oregon State. So getting it done against Andy Avalos, head coach for the Broncos.
Boise State was an annoying team to play last year. They won 7 games.
He took the bait.
I did not take the bait. Hey, they showed up in big games. They beat BYU. They beat Fresno State. Those games were on the road, by the way. I think they go into Corvallis. I think they win that game. I think Boise State is a sleeper in the Mountain West this year.
Wow.
Ooh, my.
Look at that.
Wow. That's a guest picker stepping up.
Yeah. Well, I have a hard time just because I'm not a – I don't want to say anything to make anybody mad, so I'm not going to do this. Either of the teams. So
Right.
I grew up close to Boise State, and yet I'm a Duck, and so the Beaver thing kind of bothers me too a little bit. And so, this is a tough one. You know, the Broncos coming on over. I like Luke Musgrave, by the way. Big fan of that guy. I think he's a tremendous player. But Boise State's got some decent players, too. George Halani at the running back position, Bachmeyer. But I'm taking the Beavers at home.
Oh,
I'll never pick them again.
That would be
never pick them again. I think Oregon State gets that'll be the last. And if they lose, I'll never pick them again. There we go. I'll never pick them again. I'll never pick them again. I'll never pick them again.
They have not won an opener in Corvallis since 2015.
Time to change things a little bit. I think if they lose, I'll never pick them again. I'll never pick them again. I'll never pick them again.
Hear what's going on in our ears. Georgie, like 10 years ago, picked the Beavers.
You mean last year?
Was it? Oh,
yeah, could be last year too.
Well, anyway, and he said after he lost that game, he said, "I will never pick them again.
Never pick them again." I think Oregon.
And then he picks them again.
And if they lose, I'll never pick them again. I'll Actually, never for pick a lot them of again. weeks, I didn't pick them, and they kept winning.
That's right.
And I kept falling behind. So finally,
really,
I gave in. I was
it
like,
really
I'm picking
ruined.
them.
It really ruined your pick'em season. You probably would have won last year, honestly.
Because it was like the anti-Beaver pick, is what it was. So
yeah.
Anyhow.
Wow. Okay.
So you're picking the Beavs?
Yep, I am.
Okay. Did anyone notice that I didn't pick?
Oh, wow. Kind of snuck on through.
You guys both just rolled right through it. I looked at Jerry, and Jerry was like,
I'm like, okay, you're not going to.
He keeps pulling the look at you.
Yeah, I just looked
and then
over
look at me. And then
I said, you took the bait.
My signal has been the look over. So you looked over, and I just went. I was locked and loaded.
I like his pick, though. You know.
Thank you.
I'm not going to reverse my pick right now because I have till the end of the show. Is that what it is, or the end of these picks?
Oh, here we go again.
What is the rule? I won't go down. I don't want to take too much time.
Wait, we got to think about that.
Because I know there's a show.
Because we're recording this pick segment early because we're traveling to Atlanta. Jordan's hosting Friday. We usually have said by the end of the pick segment, when the pick segment airs.
No. No. I think. Can we all agree that
End of
when
show
this,
today.
End of show today. No, that's Friday though.
Agreed. Well, yeah. See?
Oh.
So
How
can
about
you
that?
send in a pick to Jordan and say that's out? I've got the gavel, guys.
Yeah. Well, I think his half vote counts this time.
Okay.
All right. I vote that
But no other time beyond that.
I vote that you cannot change picks after we are done recording.
Live or recorded, either way.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Agree.
Wait. Live or recorded?
Well, if we do it live on Friday, you can't change it after we do it
Oh,
live.
yes. Okay. I thought you meant
Before
for
the games
this
are
week,
played.
live
Oh, no,
or
no,
recorded,
no.
because then that could mean separate things. Okay. Good work. I guess I got to pick this game. Yeah. This was the hardest pick for me to make this week. I'm so glad that Jorgie got to say what he said about difficulties in picking for between these two teams, like on a personal basis, because I feel a lot of the same things. I also agree with Jerry wholeheartedly that I think Jonathan Smith's a good coach, and I feel like they're going to have some seasons there where they're really successful. I think that they're just going to be a disciplined team. Boise State got better as the year went on under Coach Avalos. It felt like they got better defensively. They kind of found their identity on offense. And I also just really like Andy Avalos, and I'm rooting for him to be successful, so I'm going to take Boise State.
Okay.
Wouldn't be surprised. Would not be
Yeah.
shocked. Yeah, it's that close of a game. So the show's not over, so I could change my pick.
You could.
But I'm not going to.
Me neither.
Nope.
I have not received any text messages with updates on picks. By the way, thinking about that game more, Oregon State at Research Stadium, they slashed half their seats this year. It's going to be a tiny field. I don't know about that home field advantage this year. Last year was significant. I think they went undefeated at home last year. Yeah. So I feel good about my Boise State pick. That's all I'm saying. Let's get a break. We have more of the Pac-12 picks coming on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, our all-inclusive event pricing allows us to take care of all of the details while you enjoy your event. Our wedding garden, expansive grounds, ballroom, and meeting rooms can accommodate any size event and come complete with full catering and service staff. From weddings to business and social events, Shadow Hills offers the benefits of a resort atmosphere and the peace of a country setting just minutes from downtown Eugene. For more details, call us today or go to shadowhillsevents.com.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. With honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be shared with friends or family. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path, because when you talk, they hear you. Learn more at underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Country Financial Studio, it's Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Every Friday, we pick every Pac-12 game on this program. It was so good this week that we had to split it into 3 different parts. Here is part 3 of that segment.
7:30 on Fox Sports 1. Kent State against Washington. Big upset, I think, brewing.
Yeah, I had something for lunch. It's not setting well, but that's the only upset we're coming close to here. If Washington can't win this game by halftime and then not even take the field against Kent State, then there's an issue. Washington's got to win this game easily.
Oh, I was thinking that, Washington would be pulling the upset on Kent State.
What?
Kent State was decent last year.
Taking the Huskies.
Yeah. Well, but they're a 3-touchdown favorite.
More than that now.
What's their mascot, by the way?
Kent State?
Yeah. What is
the
it?
Huskies?
No.
Kent State.
Kent State. It's good. It's a good one.
Aren't they the Owls?
No. I think it's a cool one.
Yeah. Kennesaw State is the Owls. The Golden Flashes.
The Golden
Flashes.
It's got like the green wave, you know?
Yeah, I like the green wave. Yeah. Tulane.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry to get off that.
Whose pick?
I think Washington rolls. I think they'll score more points this year. Hopefully not too many more.
But enough. You're taking
I'm taking Huskies.
Flashes? Oh.
Not even close.
I'm taking Huskies, but wouldn't it be fun if it was a close game?
Oh, yeah. And it's the nightcap.
That we win because
guys,
we made the right pick, but
yes.
they
So
struggle.
here's the thing. We're going to have a Pac-12 after dark game. Is it going to be Boise State and Oregon State? Is it maybe going to be Idaho, Washington State? Is it going to be Kent State, Washington? One of those games is going to be a Pac-12 after darker. I feel like Boise State, Oregon State is the smart pick.
Yeah.
But the crazier game, wasn't it in Pullman where Washington State had that crazy game a couple years ago that went until like 2 in the morning?
We had 2 years in a row where they, first of all, got upset, but one of them went really late.
Yeah.
So it could happen.
Could happen.
Maybe it happens in Seattle. Those are your picks. Did we get everything? Welcome back, guys. Good to have you.
That was good.
We got a chance for somebody to stretch out a lead here early too.
Pretty good guest.
Yeah, we do.
Pretty good guest picker too.
Yeah, well done.
Oh, thank you.
Well done. We'll find out later on. I mean, you could set the coin up for success here.
That's the plan.
I mean, you know.
Or you could put the coin in a deep hole.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, the coin was real close to us in 2020, fellas.
Yeah.
That was a bad year. Everyone's taking Arizona State. TCU is the pick for Georgie and I. Colorado is the pick for Jordan and Jerry. UCLA across the board. Arizona for myself and Jordan. San Diego State for Jerry and Georgie. Cal across the board. USC across the board. Everyone's taking Utah except Jerry, who's taking Florida. Quick interjection.
A correction. I did not take Arizona. I took San Diego State. Big.
That's true.
Did somebody else take Arizona? Did I write that in the wrong spot? Everyone took San Diego State. I'm the only one that took Arizona. Okay, I stand corrected. Thank you for the correction.
You're welcome.
This is why we do the recap. Stanford over Colgate, everybody. Washington State, and then the young guys taking Boise State, and then you guys taking Oregon State. And then everybody's taking Washington. Yeah, there's a chance for some separation here early. It's our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks.
Oh, fun. This is
Football
great.
is back.
It's back,
great.
baby.
Football is back.
It is back. Sylvan Ridge offers wine enthusiasts a diverse selection of wines representing the very best of the South Willamette Valley. And, fellas, I can tell you there is a case waiting for the winner this year.
Ooh. I'd like to change a couple of my picks. I'm not gambling anymore. I'm going to go with a sure thing.
We'll end on this since this is going to air on a Friday. Georgie, your keys to success for Oregon against Georgia.
Oh, I think, again, it's going to be trenches. I'd say that a lot of times, but in this particular case, the way that Oregon's offensive and defensive lines play, to be able to establish a decent run against Georgia would go miles for the passing game, I believe. And at the same time, you shut down that Georgia running game and make them one-dimensional. You know, yeah, good tight end, pretty good quarterback, but beyond that, a lot of question marks for Georgia. So in the trenches, take control early, establish a run game, stop the run. I think this Oregon Duck team has a chance.
What do you think, Jerry?
To me, it's turnovers, takeaways, mistakes. You make mistakes in this ball game against the Georgia team, they take advantage of it, and it's not close. If you take care of the football, eliminate mistakes, penalties, I think you have a great chance in this game.
Keys to the game. Well, right now, we're at the stadium, setting up in the broadcast booth. Jordan's here in the studio.
I like what
Jorgie said there, it's going to be one in the trenches. He focused offensively. Let me focus briefly defensively. I think if you stop Georgia's run, you put the ball in Stetson Bennett's hands, who knows? Who knows? Man, I can't wait. Less than 24 hours away. One more note I wanted to hit on before we hit the break. If you don't have anything to watch tonight before a football Saturday, here you go. Spencer Steer's Major League Baseball debut, hitting 7th for the Reds tonight as they play against the Rockies. Spencer Steer, do you remember what he did in 2019? First team All Pac-12, hit .349 on one side of the ball, and then was a first team All Pac-12 defensive player. Spencer Steer, seriously, one of the most well-spoken, hardest-working Ducks ever. Really rooting for that guy. I hope he goes 2 for 4, maybe 3 for 4 tonight. That's Spencer Steer's Major League Baseball debut. Congratulations to Spencer Steer. We're going to get a break. We'll come back with more Duck Insider. We'll talk about Oregon soccer, a pretty heroic draw. Yeah, we'll tell you why after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Now's the time to visit your local Toyota dealer and find yourself in a stylish and fuel-saving RAV4, Corolla, or Camry. Or climb behind the wheel of the rugged Tundra, Tacoma, and more. Toyota's national sales event is on. Toyota, let's go places.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Now's the time to visit your local Toyota dealer and find yourself in a stylish and fuel-saving RAV4, Corolla, or Camry. Or climb behind the wheel of the rugged Tundra, Tacoma, and more. Toyota's national sales event is on. Toyota, let's go places.
This is Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Meet Ed, movie buff, animal lover, safe driver.
5 years of driving an ambulance teaches you a thing or two. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. When I see a car trying to rush past a turning bus, I get concerned. You see, when big vehicles turn right, they have to swing wide to make the turn. And that's a lesson you don't want to learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait.
It's our roads. It's our safety. Visit www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
I've been driving trucks for a long time, and safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
Welcome back to Duck Insider, back here in the Country Financial Studio. As always, brought to you by On Point Community Credit Union. We're less than 24 hours away from kickoff. I feel like everything that needs to be said has been said at this point. Drop your score prediction in the comments. Let me know how you think this game is going to go. Maybe we'll read a couple as we leave the show. Hopefully we see a lot of Oregon victories in the comments. Last night, Oregon soccer got a draw against Texas, 1-1. Really in the first half, and I don't think Graham Abel would deny this. Texas could have been up big. At halftime, something changed. There was a turning point, and then late in the ball game, Jordan Snyder came through with her first collegiate goal. A really cool story, an impressive feed, and an awesome moment at Pape Field that acted as the equalizer.
This ball away as Texas clears. It will go to the Duck back line. It's up front to Hasselauer. And the box is Snyder. She gets it past the keeper, and we're even. Jordan Snyder touched it past Madden, and we're knotted at 1 in the 78th minute.
You can hear the crowd just go absolutely crazy. Also, Oregon volleyball with a 3-0 win yesterday over the Aggies. A couple more thoughts, though, on the 1-1 draw between Oregon and Texas. For Snyder, this is a senior who dealt with the pandemic, who hadn't played a lot of minutes in her career, really, but is just one of those players who always stayed ready. And Graham Abel noticed, and in the 78th minute, with 6 starters out, Graham Abel goes to Jordan Snyder, draws up a great play, and the Ducks tie Texas 1-1. Let's hear from Graham Abel. You can feel that energy. I was actually there on the field with him after the game. He explains what that moment meant to the team yesterday.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Good, Coach. How are you?
Come on. You have to talk to the media now, you know?
I know, I'm scared.
You nervous?
Yeah.
We'll do it together?
Okay.
Okay. We're going to joint meeting? Joint one? You got it on your own, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, here we go. I'll go first then. Go and get out of it.
So, Coach, just initial thoughts.
Yeah, you know, in all honesty, you know, for the first half, we started to get stretched and made the adjustment at halftime, and we saw it at halftime, and you know, I think we grew up as a team tonight, to be quite honest with you. That's a really good Texas team. They got some good players, players that were at the 20s World Cup, one that we should have at the 20s World Cup. And so I just think we grew up as a team tonight, to be quite honest with you.
Can you expand upon that? How do you feel like your team specifically grew?
Just the discipline to play against those types of teams and how we defend. We've still got to be better on the attacking side of the ball, don't get me wrong with regards to that piece, but to be a disciplined unit like that and then to take the chances when we create them is that's a really good team performance. Want to win the game, obviously, but that's a good team performance.
I think it was 6 starters who were inactive for this game. How do you counteract that and then come away with a draw?
You know what? It's people to know their roles and invest in their roles and understand the information when they may not have played in the past. And it's very easy when you name a starting lineup and you start going over different things for people to switch off in the room. And ultimately, we haven't had people switch off in the room. Everyone's been involved, everyone's listened, and so when they've been able to come in, they've been able to execute their role and take care of it. So again, that's a really good team performance.
Is there any one of those players who you can highlight?
I mean, this kid has, you know, been here for 3 years, and you know she's deserved more playing time. She's worked her backside off. She's a gold medalist this summer in the Maccabi Games, so she's gained all that experience, and you know she's had a career moment tonight. And then Ainsley Fink, you know, playing as a centre back, you know, and coming in and making your debut against a kid like Trinity Byers, who is as good as it gets in this country, and she was phenomenal.
Was there a turning point tonight where the script flipped a little bit? Was it
halftime? We go in one or two ways at halftime. We either drop our heads, and then all of a sudden, you know, Texas gets a second goal or a third goal. They do whatever it is they do because they're a dangerous team. But our kids came out and our kids rolled the sleeves up and they went about it in a really, really mature way. So super proud of them.
What did you say to them at halftime?
It was just about adjusting our shape, making sure we're disciplined, and then, like I said, it was, hey, this goes one of two ways. You know, whether they're going to, you know, go down 2-0 here, or they're going to come back, and then, you know, we've probably, you know, had opportunities to win it as well.
How do you hope to channel what happened in the second half towards Boise State on Sunday?
It's taking a look at the video and taking the good moments from it, because there were plenty of them. It's, you know, showing us the good moments. You know, I thought we connected the ball as well as we have the entire season yet, and that's difficult when you got a lot of new players and a lot of new faces in there, and you know we're missing a lot of experience, but it's experience, and other people are stepping up now and getting the experience, and that's going to only help us later down the line. We get even deeper.
In terms of that injury front, is there anyone that's going to be available for Sunday? Do you know?
I have no idea. I'm just hoping that no one else has gotten injured based on the way it's gone this season. No, I don't know. We'll chat with the doctors and the trainers and find out what's going on. We go day to day with that piece.
Is there any way you're planning on counteracting that slow start coming out?
You know, I thought the first 15, when did they score? 17, 18 minutes? I don't know when they scored. What was it?
20th minute.
So 20th minute. So I actually thought the first piece was, you know, the first 15 was pretty good. It's just we started to get stretched. So it's just keeping our discipline, that's all.
That's Graham Abel after that draw against Texas. A talented team with a lot of All-America caliber players, and the Ducks down 6 starters get out of Pape Field with a draw. Jordan Snyder was a big reason why. After waiting her turn for about 3 years, she comes through in a big way and met with the media after the draw.
What was the work behind the scenes that led to this moment? Obviously, you've been here for a long time. This is a big moment for you.
Yeah, it's been a lot of work. I was here during COVID, and we had a lot of chance to develop, and
not all of us were with the COVID year, but I felt like me being here with the COVID year, I got a lot of insight into Graham's coaching style, which helped me a lot during this game.
How did your teammates react for you in that?
Oh, they were very happy. They made me cry, like, of joy. They gave me a lot of support, which was really nice.
What went into those tears? Why were you crying that game?
Because of my senior year, I didn't get a lot of minutes throughout my 4 years here. This is the most I've played in a game, and I don't know, just like a high emotion environment.
Do you have family here?
No, but they were watching.
They were watching?
Yeah.
Have you checked your phone yet?
No. They're probably going to be blowing up my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk me through that play. Describe it for me. Do the play-by-play.
Well, it started with our back line, and then Zoe got it, and she played a perfect ball to me. I knew Zoe, she's an amazing player, so I knew she was going to give me like one of the perfect balls, and all I had to do was put it in the back of the net. So I give all my credit to Zoe and our whole team for that.
So in a game like this where 6 starters not available, you know you have to step up. What is your mindset preparing for this game? Yeah, my mindset is like, I know I'm here for a reason. My coach, Graham, wouldn't put me on the field if he didn't think I would be able to do it. Yeah.
Was there a turning point tonight? I thought the team looked a little bit better in the second half compared to the first half.
I think it's just our halftime talk. Graham asked us if we wanted to win this game, and it kind of, for me at least, it kind of clicked, like, yeah, I want to win this game. And we just came together and fought, got the goal to tie it.
Not necessarily a win, but you could tell after the game it kind of felt that way with the way the game went. Let's get a break. We'll come back and hear from Ainsley Fink, another member of the Oregon soccer team. It's Duck Insider in the Country Financial Studio. Coming back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, our all-inclusive event pricing allows us to take care of all of the details while you enjoy your event. Our wedding garden, expansive grounds, ballroom, and meeting rooms can accommodate any size event and come complete with full catering and service staff. From weddings to business and social events, Shadow Hills offers the benefits of a resort atmosphere and the peace of a country setting just minutes from downtown Eugene. For more details, call us today or go to shadowhillsevents.com.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
I found hope in the midst of an overwhelming situation.
Alcoholism is a disease that can affect any family. Everyone suffers, but there is help and hope at Al-Anon Family Groups.
Al-Anon gave me my life back. I'm a better father and husband.
Are you in an overwhelming situation because of someone else's drinking? Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Local and virtual meetings are available. Maybe one could work for you. Call 1-866-200-0033 or visit alanon.org/hope.
Medicaid and CHIP offer free or low-cost health coverage for children and teens. Hospital and doctor visits, prescriptions, shots, and more are covered. That's peace of mind for parents if a child is sick or gets injured. And parents may now be eligible for Medicaid too, even if they've applied in the past. Enrollment is always open. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Welcome back to Duck Insider, back here in the Country Financial Studio, brought to you by On Point Community Credit Union. Oregon soccer got that draw yesterday. One more player to hear from. Here's Ainsley Fink, one of the young players on this team.
So, talk me through the game. You know you're going to have to start. You know your team's shorthanded. What's your mindset coming in?
Well, all of our players just trust each other so much, and every older player is like bringing up all of us freshmen and everything, so it's really just helpful from them, and they trust you, so stepping up and onto plate is really easy.
Talk to me about the stamina piece of it. You have a short bench. How was your stamina tested, and how do you feel like the team was prepared for it?
Sorry, can you repeat it one more time?
So with a short bench, you know your stamina is going to have to be tested as an entire team. How was it tested, and did you feel like your team was prepared for it?
I feel like our team was prepared. Going into it with the short bench, we knew that we all had to work for each other, and when one person is working, we need to drop back for them. So it really was just like that trust aspect and that relentlessness. Like if one of our players steps, we know we'll have to drop back into their position and do whatever it is.
Do you feel like the team grew up at all tonight?
I feel like the team definitely grew more trusting each other, more than we have already had. And yeah, I'm just so proud of the team, and all of us are just so much more united after tonight.
When did that happen during the game?
I feel like from the start, well, we all knew the starting lineup, and we knew that players had to step up from some of our players getting hurt. So we all knew we had to come behind each other and lift each other up, and that's when it started. From the very first, this week of practice, that first practice, we just knew we had to step up for each other.
Do you put a lot of stock into, a big assist in your freshman year? Is it the personal accomplishment that means a lot to you, or more the team result tonight?
Of course I'm happy, but I'm more happy for my team. I just wanted us to get up on the board and everything, and all my work is for the team. I had to step up for the team, and that's just, whether I'm on the bench, whether I'm on the field, that's my job, just to bring all my players up.
Talk to me about that play. Describe it from your perspective.
The goal.
Yeah.
Well, I knew our backs have been working so hard throughout the night with our really good opponents and everything. So I knew we were so relentless and gritty, and if we get that ball up to them, Zoe's gonna work, she's gonna flick that on, and everyone's just gonna be guns blazing. So I know if I get it up there, they're gonna handle it.
What was tough about that Texas team that you were playing?
Everyone knows that Texas is big and strong and fast and everything, so we knew that going into it, that they were going to be good opponents, and that we just had to match their grit, and we had to just know us and do our game, and that's what ended with the result.
I don't know. It felt like it was a big result yesterday against Texas. I'm going to be curious to see how that translates on Sunday when they welcome Boise State to town. That'll be a 1:05 kickoff. Good way to spend a Sunday afternoon. Going to be a gorgeous day at Pat Bay Field. Tomorrow, 12:30, ABC. You can listen on the Oregon Sports Network. Let's run through it on 95.3 in Eugene, on 1080 AM in Portland, Sirius 133, XM 197, and on the Varsity Sports Network as well. Jerry, Jorgie, Joey, Terry got you covered pregame at 10:30 a.m. It's time, folks. It's time for battle. Thanks for being here with us. Go Ducks. Go Ducks tomorrow.
The United States Deputy Sheriff's Association is a national nonprofit and the largest non-governmental provider of services to law enforcement. The USDSA assists city, county, state, and federal agencies with free safety equipment donations and officer survival training, along with cash donations to families of law enforcement officers who perish in the line of duty, college scholarships for the children of law enforcement, a citizen awareness program, and more. For more information on the USDSA and how you can help, visit usdeputy.org.
You're never completely ready to adopt a